Hey everybody, welcome to Physio Ed. I'm Cam. So as you can see here, I've got what we call a Physio Stick. This is one of the items that we have for sale at physioed.com. So it is used for a variety of different things. Today we're going to be exploring some uses for various shoulder mobilizations and a little bit of strength work, and also some various ways that you can use it for a little balance support when you're doing full body exercise. So the first thing we're going to do is I want you to take the stick with the underhand grip, so that means the stick is on my palms facing up, and then just grip onto it light but hard enough that you're holding it in place. So we're going to do two different shoulder mobilizations to start. The first one, we're just going to use one hand to drive the other hand away. So in this case, I'm going to take my left hand, push it towards my right hand, just until I start to feel a stretch in the back of my right shoulder. And then we're going to go back the other way. So this isn't a really big movement, but it is a way to keep your shoulders active while getting a nice light stretch in the backs of your shoulders. So a lot of the shoulder-based movements that we're going to be doing today are perfect if you have ever had anything like a frozen shoulder or a serious shoulder injury. After you've gone through rehab, there are ways that you can maintain the strength in those areas or the mobility in those areas safely, and this is a really good way to do that. Let's do it one more time on each side. Just driving the hand and back a little bit more, and then back to the center. Just go ahead and rest the stick on your thighs. Let's just take 3 big breaths. So 2 more breaths on your own. Just notice how your shoulders are feeling. So we always want to check in and make sure things are feeling safe and stable. Maybe give them a little shrug, a little shimmy. Just keeping a little bit of movement going. So keeping a tall spine here, so we don't want to be shrugging forward. In fact, we're trying to get away from that position a little bit, so drawing your shoulder blades down and back. Now the next one is similar but different. Bring the stick up so it's more or less in front of your jawline, and then we're going to draw elbows in. So from here, you're just drawing one hand towards your face, the other one away, and then just switching. So again, you're going to feel a little stretch in the backs of the shoulders. You're going to feel a little engagement in the biceps. Shouldn't feel super intense, but again, we're just trying to open the shoulders a little bit and warm them up for other movements. Good. Let's do it 2 more times on each side. Make sure you're breathing. All right. And then after that second repetition, just go ahead and bring the stick back down again. So shoulders back, we'll keep moving this time. So one other great thing the stick is good for is if you have had any bicep or shoulder injuries, specifically something like a biceps tear, this is really good to get your body to start doing curls again. The stick just has a little bit of weight, which might be just enough for you to start getting this range of motion back. So just pulling the stick towards your chest with bent elbows. All right, let's just do 3 more. Again, we're just kind of checking in with some of these movements. You can always do more or less at your own pace if it feels like something that you need, or you can skip it if it doesn't feel good. And one more time, and then go ahead and rest. So in a lot of our classes, we stress the importance of being able to go from a seated to a standing position, and that's just good overall for just making sure that you're staying mobile and strong. So as far as lower body movements go, this is particularly good for helping you balance in a slightly unstable way. So if you do have balance issues, we always encourage you to place your hand on perhaps a tabletop or using the arms of your chair until you feel like you can gain the strength to do something like this. But if you're feeling good, I'm going to encourage you to just take the stick out in front of you, one hand on top of the other. So these little rubberized ends should keep it from moving, especially if you're on carpet. So if you're on a slick surface, just make sure you're being safe. Heels down. Now as you lean forward, you can press into the stick just enough to give you a little assist to come up and into your standing position from the squat. Let's just do that 3 more times. Sit back down, lean back until the stick is vertical. So big inhale, little lean forward, press down, exhale, lift. All right, same thing, one more time. And then exhale. This time we're going to stand all the way up and just hang out here. So this is really good for any kind of single leg balance movement that you want to do. So if you're practicing standing on one foot, this is a little bit less stable than a tabletop or something. Just it'll give you a little bit more of a stimulus in that leg, so you're building a little bit more strength. Just remember, if you do one side, make sure you do the other side as well. So one other thing that I'd like to illustrate here is that if you're working on your golf swing, for example, a stick is a really good way to make sure that you're keeping your shoulders in a good position. So even if you wanted to do squats with the stick across your shoulders, this is just a method to keep your torso upright. You can also use it as a cueing device to just go through a very careful twisting motion. So notice my gaze is staying in line with my elbows. And the motion of keeping the stick here, or the position of keeping the stick here, is keeping me from slouching forward. So elbows up, chest up, you're just kind of balancing the stick on your shoulders. And if you notice my feet, it's very similar to motions that you might go through if you were doing a golf swing. All right, let's do one more on each side. And rest. Go ahead and bring the stick back down. So I'm going to turn the chair to the side here just so you can see the, quote, easiest way to do this, but also with the stick for a little added stimulus. So with the foot that's closest to the chair, I'm going to take a step back. And I'm just going to bend my knees a little bit and then step back up. So I have the support of the chair right now. I also have the stick available to me. So if you're trying this and this feels like enough, just keep working with this so you have a little bit of less balance support on one side, a little bit more stable support on the other side. If you want a little challenge, try hovering your hand off of the chair. And again, the stick is moving a little bit, so it's a little extra challenge for your brain. If you're with me, let's do 3 more times. 2 and 1. Notice I'm not coming down super deep, just enough to get that right leg working. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So I'm just going to swing the chair around. We're just going to match the exact same thing that we did on the other side. So the foot closest to the chair is the one that's going to be stepping back. So just finding that balance. Maybe take a breath, especially if any of these other movements have you feeling frazzled. Now, same thing. Take a step back. All right, let's do 8 on each side. So maybe this is your good leg, or maybe it's not your good leg. You can play around with the movement as much as you feel like you need to. Shorter, maybe longer step if you feel that you need. Maybe you can lighten the hand. Maybe just using the stick, just for 3. 2 and 1. Okay, go ahead and rest. Stand up, little shake, little shimmy. Okay, so I mentioned a frozen shoulder earlier, which is something of an uncommon movement, but a lot of times overhead reaching can be painful for a lot of people. So I'm going to show you a couple movements that you can do to work towards an overhead position without getting up here, which might be painful for you. So the first one, grabbing the stick once again, my elbows are about as wide as my hands. Imagine that you have the backs of your arms against the wall. You're going to keep a nice firm grip on the stick and you're just going to slide up until the stick is just above your line of sight and then back down. So we're doing this in a standing position. One thing I want you to focus on is not leaning back through your upper body as you do this. So I have a little bend in my knees, reaching my elbows forward, my knuckles up. Let's just do 2 more of these. Check it in with your shoulders. If it hurts at all, remember, just sit it out. All right, and then as you exhale, bring it back down. So once you find straight arms, I'm going to take the left hand and turn it over. So downward facing grip with my left hand, upward facing grip with my right hand, and then I'm going to slide my hands wider apart. So this next motion, again, it's a twist, but it's almost like a shoveling motion. So the idea here is to take the bottom hand, use it to assist the top hand up and back just a little bit more. So maybe this motion looks a little bit more like this for you, slowly working your way up, just as high as you feel like you need to be. Now, it's not quite as much of a twist as what we did before, but you can also start to turn in the direction that you're reaching. Good. So let's do 2 more on this side. All right, and then as you bring it back down, back to the start position, straight arms, we're just going to switch one hand, switch the other hand. Let's do the same thing. So, as I mentioned before, both sides of our body are going to be a little bit different. If you have an injury on one side and you don't on the other side, this is going to be easier on the side that wasn't injured. So, just checking in. Maybe this side's a little bit higher, maybe it's a little bit lower. Let's do 3 more, just the gentlest push back. So again, you're feeling both shoulders working in slightly different ways. All right. Then go ahead and bring it back down to your hips one more time. So just shake it out a little bit here, maybe even a little swing side to side. Just nice and easy, just letting the stick roll across the fronts of your thighs. All right, if you're up for a challenge, you can put the stick across your shoulders again. If you're feeling a little tired, using the option to set the stick back down with one end on the ground. So I'm going to try it with the stick across my shoulders. Make sure that your chair is right behind you. So we're doing this very carefully. In this case, we're just going to come straight down from the top to the bottom in our squat. So Inhale, elbows up. Now with your exhale, hips down and back. Set yourself back down so when you land, you're in this tall seated position once again. Go ahead and bring the stick back down. Just rest on your thighs. Take a couple big breaths. So nice work, everybody. Again, this is a Physio Stick. It's available at physioed.com. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye.